Hello, my friends. It's good to be back for the second time today. Please just put a thumbs up, or not a thumbs up, anything, or an okay, or anything if you can hear me, because I am using a new platform, Restream, and I am technically challenged. So I am not even sure if it's going to work. So, yeah, let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me. That would be really good. Sarah, you can hear me. Woohoo! Can you see me? Queen Bee, thank you for showing your support. I really appreciate it. I'm actually feeling really nervous about this live tonight, and I don't know why. Just for some reason, my heart's pounding, and I don't know what the story is, but I did one earlier to catch the overseas guys fans. Hi, Kaleidoscope. Good to see you. Thanks, Queen Bee. And I thought I'd do a late one. Well, a late one for overseas, but evening one for us Kiwis to see if there's any around to go over a couple of cold cases tonight. I'm hoping that people from Facebook will come over. Hey, Shauna, it's good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. It's good to see some of my friends that I haven't seen for a while. Sarah says, yep, can see you. Have been following Brianna's case. I'm excited for this one. Yeah, I've got a couple of cases I want to sort of watch on video and then check up for any updates. I know I did a video a few days ago or last week about a UK doctor missing in New Zealand. And just today I seen that one of the newspapers or online newspapers, whatever news thingies, did a story and an appeal about it. So that was good timing. So we're definitely going to watch that one. And then, like I say, just check for updates and shoot the shit, really. And it's called Cursey words in cold cases because I drop the F-bomb a little sometimes, especially when I forget to unmute myself, which happens a lot. So be prepared. I hope, yeah, we'll have a good time, and let's see if one of these is going to play, because that will be interesting to see if this is going to work. All right. It's good to all have yours in here. Okay, we'll start with the Brianna one, just because someone's excited for it. Sarah, let me know if you can hear it. I've got it up as loud as it can go. If we need to pause to chat here and there, we will do that as well, because I don't like talking over the video when it's going. Welcome, everybody. It's good to see you. New Zealand Mysteries is a community of people who are compassionate and want to help in the search for answers for victims and their families. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and podcast. Thanks to those that like, subscribe, follow, share, or donate, because New Zealand Mysteries only works with your help. Links for all the options and source links will be in the description box below. Thanks very much for your support. Hey everyone, welcome to New Zealand Mysteries. It's TJ. I'm not going to be coming on. We have an urgent appeal, so we're going to look into it. Here we go. Have you seen Brianna Muriwai or Colin Heath? We've got these two missing right now, and we need to see if anyone out there knows anything for these families. So let's get into it. So first we're going to go to the police website, police.govt.nz. Remember, all the source links will be in the description box below. Police appeal for sightings of missing woman Brianna Muriwai. Thursday, 1st of September. In Wellington. Police are continuing to appeal for sightings of missing woman Brianna Muriwai, aged 22, so she's just a young lady. Brianna was dropped at the Paraparaumu railway station by family members on Friday 26th of August. We may see that might not be the case, but we'll see. She is believed to have travelled in the wider Wellington region over the weekend. I just about did it again. I just about started talking and didn't unmute myself. Remember, this was last year. think. Yeah. So it's quite fresh still, you know, there hasn't been that much time.
Information provided to police since Brianna went missing suggests that she was at Te Horo Beach early in the morning on Sunday 28th of August, and we'll take a look at the map soon. Police will be undertaking a search of Te Horo Beach tomorrow, 2nd of September, in the area around the last reported sighting of Brianna. Police and Brianna's family are very concerned for her welfare and want to hear from anyone who believes they may have seen her since Friday, 26th of August. Get in touch with the police 105 or online, or always quote reference number 220829/5320. And at the end of this video, we'll have all those know where to go if you have any information. So let's look at this map really quickly. This is the area we are looking at.
Yep, I did it. I spoke and no one could hear me. Can someone just type a word into the live chat for me? I just want to see if it's working on the YouTube side, because this restream thing is not going, that flash for me. And I don't know if anyone can hear me, if I'm talking to anybody. Oh, Sarah says, hey, thank goodness for that. I was worried. I was talking to myself for a moment. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, we'll get back to it, guys. And we'll stop and have a chat soon.
And if we look a little closer, we've got Paraparaumu Station here, and Te Horo Beach. If we look at this, we can see the terrain around here as well. Moving on, nzherald.co.nz, 6th of September. So yesterday, police hunt for clues in search of Brianna Muruai in Wellington. Wellington police are wanting to identify 3 people after 22-year-old Brianna Muruai went missing from a beach in the Kapiti Coast area. Brianna was last seen at Te Horo Beach near the car parking area on Sea Road around 4 a.m. on August the 28th. Detective Sergeant Peter Vine said they have been working to piece together Brianna's movements prior to her last sighting and now need the public's help. We would like to identify 3 people walking on Te Horo Beach just before dawn on Sunday the 28th. The 3 people interacted with 2 male associates of Brianna who were driving along the beach looking for her, said Vine. Vine said there is a chance that Muruai, Brianna, asked someone in the area to use their phone, and police would also like to establish if this happened. Police also have reason to believe Brianna may be with friends. We would ask them or her to make contact to let us know she is safe, said Vine. Please, Brianna, if you see this, contact your family, because friends of the family have contacted me. Everyone is worried, honey, worried. Vine said they are keeping an open mind as to where Brianna is and what may have happened to her. As time goes on, police and Brianna's family are becoming increasingly concerned for her welfare. We urge anyone with info to contact police as soon as possible. Again, we're going to see this. Police said Muruai, Brianna, was dropped at the Paraparaumu railway station by family members last Friday and is believed to have travelled in the wider Wellington region over the weekend. Again, how to get in touch with police and file numbers. Again, guys, where to find that. She is absolutely beautiful. Right, I've got one more thing I want to bring up, and it's actually from a family member, and not a family member, sorry, a friend of the family, and she sent me a screenshot of this, so I wanted to have a quick look at it. One of my friend's beautiful daughter is missing. Kapiti people, keep your eyes peeled. Update: Brianna was last seen on Te Horo Beach with a friend at around 5 a.m. Sunday morning. The friend said Brianna took off by foot southbound down Te Horo Beach. If anyone is a member of the Te Horo community page, can you please share this post? Kia ora, my 22-year-old daughter Brianna Muriwai hasn't been seen or heard from since Friday 26 last week. This is a bit different. She was last seen at Wellington Airport dropping a friend off on Friday night. So a bit different to being dropped off at the Umu. Hang on, I'm a bit lost. Yeah, right. And get back to it. The last message she sent was to a friend at midnight that same night, stating she was up at the Lookout. Now, this is why I wanted to look at this again. I'll show you. Just give me a moment. The Lookout here, Rewy Street, is just over here. So you can see that's all in the vicinity. Alright, we need to look at that post again. No one has been able to make contact with her, and her phone is off and her social media hasn't been active. We have contacted the police and filed a missing persons report and are now resorting to social media. If anyone has seen or heard from Brianna, please make contact with the police. We are very concerned about her well-being, as this is out of character for her not to make contact. So family are definitely upset.
Dev in the house with $2. Thank you so much, my lovely. I'm glad you're about. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It's good to see you.
Understandably, if someone is missing and you don't know if they're okay, very, very sad. That's all we have for Brianna right at the moment.
So she must have a really, really big whānau, big family, because I swear I had like quite a few of them contact me and ask me to cover the case. Obviously, there just wasn't a lot to go on at the time. But what I thought we would do is go look at Google and let's just see what updates, if any, there are. So type in here. Her name comes up. Okay, this is quite 13th of the 12th. This is probably one of the latest ones. Okay, now I've got to shift your screen over there. Oh, I'll get the software. I swear I'll get it. I'll get it. Okay, so this is the nzherald.co.nz. Like I said, this was the 14th of December 2022. So not that long ago. Police no closer to discovering what happened to missing woman Brianna Muriwai. It says this photo here that Brianna Muriwai was last captured with a male associate on the CCTV of a Palmerston North liquor store. So I didn't know that in my previous video. Police are no closer to discovering what happened to missing woman Brianna Muriwai, despite a campaign to bring forward more information from the public. Detective Senior Sergeant Dave Thompson said the Herald, no, he didn't, he told the Herald, although an episode, can we start that again, please? Detective Senior Sergeant Dave Thompson told the Herald, although an episode of Police 10/7, which is like a program, if you don't know, that criminals get shown on like Crimestoppers, which featured the missing 22-year-old, did generate some tips. None of them were useful. None of the information has taken us any closer to discovering what has happened to Brianna or where she may be. It's coming up on 4 months since she disappeared. Joneson, welcome, honey. Dev, please don't apologise. Look, $2 is fantastic. Any support is fantastic, so please don't say it. You're sorry. So Brianna was picked up on Friday, August the 26th, by a male friend from Wellington, and they both drove to Palmerston North, where they stayed overnight. She was last captured on CCTV at 11:15 a.m. on Saturday at a liquor store in the area, which I'm gathering is this one here. That evening, she told a friend she wanted to return home to Paraparaumu and agreed to drive her home. As the night went on, the pair drove and picked up a second man who was not known to Brianna before driving south to Kimberley Reserve near Levin. So at the moment, there's Brianna, a guy that a friend that she said she wanted to go home, and another male that she doesn't know in this car. The next stop is in Otaki, where Brianna's friend withdraws money from her account. Then they meet a third person. Oh, didn't we just have three people? Oh, no, okay. Then they meet a third person at Hyde Park on the corner of State Highway 1 and Tahortle Beach Road before heading to Tahortle Beach Road, where they park on beach access. Now, wasn't that a mouthful in 10? If you need me to go over it again slower, just tell me. But I think I got it all out. Okay, so they're parked up at the beach at the moment. So the one driving must be a chick, her friend, and then they've got two males in the car. The nursing student was reportedly last seen running into the darkness of Tahortle Beach in the early hours of August 28th. Does this sound right to you guys? It just is one of the most oddest cases. They're all bloody odd. Her handbag and cell phone were recovered the following day, and although police are speaking with the two men who saw her last, there are too many unanswered questions to conclusively say what happened to her. Doesn't sound good though, right? Brianna's mum, Jasmine, is desperate to bring her daughter home, of course, and has started organising her own search parties to find a trace of her much-loved daughter. And you know what, guys? Put yourself in this mum's shoes, and that's why we do this, right? This is why we do cold cases and stuff like that, because we want families to get some answers. No, Jones, and it doesn't sound right at all. This is really, really odd. I mean, first and foremost, you're going to think, well, these guys must have something to do with it, right? But no one, everyone's innocent till proven guilty. I'm not saying nothing, allegedly. We really appreciate everyone's support, she told the Herald. We're feeling positive and hopeful and so grateful for the support of the community. For those who want to help, there was a Give a Little page for the search. I'll check that out and see if it's still active. No, it's closed, and it raised $5,000, so that was something for the family. The funds will be used to support Brianna's family in their search and investigation into her disappearance. We just want her home, that's all. Thompson told the Herald they are aware of Brianna's family organising searches and are in regular contact with them. We remain in close contact with Brianna's family, and we acknowledge their strength during this difficult time. Any questions around their movements are not for police to comment. Now, in the description box below, if you know anyone or do you have any information, there's the numbers to call down there. So really sad, actually, that nothing's happened in this case. It's really just stood still. Very, very sad for the family. I don't know what you can take from that. I mean, there's just not enough details to... She ran to the beach and just disappeared. And, yeah, it's an odd one. It's an odd one. So I thought we'd go back to... and finish watching this video. It's about another one. Have a great day, great night, I should say, Crime. Thanks for coming. Yeah, so we'll finish watching. This is another Colin Heath who went missing. So it's only a few minutes.
555 I should say, which is totalbeenmissing@gmail.com, is there. And back to the police website. Police seeking further information on missing Te Kuiti man Colin Heath, and I'll have links in the description box again below. Police will please attribute to Detective Paul Galetta, Waikato Police. I'm not sure know why we need to say that. Police are continuing to investigate the disappearance of Te Kuiti man Colin Heath. Just going to quickly zoom over here, look where Te Kuiti is. The 46-year-old was reported missing on March 19 and was last seen in Te Kuiti. Police have made a number of inquiries since his disappearance, but unfortunately he has not been found. His bank accounts have not been touched since this time, and other efforts, including reviewing telecommunications, have been unsuccessful. His family and police are extremely concerned for his well-being, given the length of time that has passed since he disappeared. Unfortunately, we do not have a clear area to search for Colin, so we can continue to ask anyone with information on his whereabouts to contact police. We are keen for any information, regardless of how small you think it is. It may be relevant to our investigation and assist us in locating Colin. 5 months, guys, it's very concerning. Anyone who has seen Colin has info about where he might be is urged to call 105 and the file number 220322/3016. So this is the only picture I could also find of Colin. I'll show you, and it shouldn't shock me, but it does shock me actually how little information there is out there for this guy. nzherald.co.nz, Waikato police appealing for help in search for missing Te Kuiti man who disappeared in March. This was yesterday. Waikato police are appealing to the public to help them find a Te Kuiti man who went missing earlier this year. Police are investigating the disappearance of 46-year-old Colin Heath. Heath was reported missing on March 19 and was last seen in the rural Waikato town. Should we have a quick look? I've never been to Te Kuiti, so I'm not sort of aware what's around it and how big it is. But certainly it's rural, that's for sure. In a beautiful land. It sucks when these things happen. The problem with this is we're just sort of regurgitating information that we got from the police here. Nothing new. His family and police are extremely concerned, given the length of time that has passed since he disappeared. Galeta said they need the public's help as they have not been able to determine a clear search area. And then the details. And I just wanted to quickly show you one more. And I think there's a couple more, but if look at that. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, look at that, and that's all we're getting is just regurgitating information. Unfortunately, there's just not the information out there to say anything else, very sadly, but we need to be onto it, New Zealanders.
So yeah, very, very hard to put together a report or, a case study or look into a case sometimes in New Zealand when you have that little to go on. And that's, I don't know how reporters pick what stories they're going to report on or what they're not going to report on. There's so many missing people that no one has ever heard of in New Zealand that I've made videos on down below. Lots of them, but you don't hear about them. You very seldom hear about them in the news, never on the 6 p.m. news. That's very, very rare. We've got Police 10/7, which is like Crimestoppers, but sometimes they don't even on the air, or if they get a segment, it's like 10 seconds or something. It's hard when there's just nothing there. Yeah, it happens all the time. So it's really tough. So the other one I wanted to watch was about the missing doctor from the UK. And I actually only done this story last week and done the video. And then I noticed today that one of the online news outlets had done a story. So what we'll do is we'll watch the video and then we will go and read that article and see if there's anything new. This one's 20 minutes, so we might stop it like 3 or 4 times. There's a fly on my screen and I think Ronnie's going to wake up and grab it, so be prepared for a cat, and we'll have a go.
I'm TJ. If I haven't met you before, it's nice to finally meet you. Please stick around. We've got a cold case from New Zealand. It's not a long video. It's not going to be a long video because there's not a lot of information. But we've got a few things to go through. So please join me and let's have a go. So first we're going to start here on the police website. David Philip Holland, date of birth 18th of August 1990, date of disappearance 11th March 2022, and location Papamoa in the Bay of Plenty. David Philip Holland was last seen on 11th of March in Papamoa. His family and friends and police have concerns for his welfare and continue to appeal for sightings or information regarding his disappearance, and police ask if you have any information, call 105. Let's take a look at the map here and see what we're talking about. So this is the North Island of New Zealand, which we just sort of had a look at in my last video about Cyclone Gabrielle and the devastation it's caused to the North Island. If you haven't seen that, please go and have a look. It's a heart-wrenching video, but it's trying to tell the rest of the world what's going on in New Zealand right now, because we need help. There's half of New Zealanders here have been affected by Cyclone Gabrielle. We've got another one coming in that they're looking at. Big trouble. But here we go, this little heart here. If we go forward and have a look, and it's actually the beach, so Papamoa Beach, that we're looking at along here. Let's have a go at about Papamoa. Papamoa, or Papamoa Beach, is a suburb of Tauranga, located even about 11 kilometres from the city centre. It is the largest residential suburb in Tauranga. Let's look at the history and culture. The Māori settlement of Papamoa dates back to approximately 1400 CE, with a significant park complex overlooking the fertile plains and abundant coastal fisheries. For the next 300 years, the people prospered, harvesting their crops and fisheries, occupying and abandoning sites in accordance with the kumara cycle and soil fertility. Papamoa has 16 kilometres, which is 9.9 miles of white sandy beach, stretching from the boundary with Mount Maunganui in the west to the Kaituna River in the east. Widespread Pākehā settlement of the area did not start until the 1960s, and prior to this, Papamoa had been largely a rural area. Once a small and tight-knit community, many of Papamoa's beaches, sweeping paddocks have been swallowed up by urban development, and unfortunately they've been swallowed up by probably Cyclone Gabrielle. In subsequent decades, Papamoa is currently one of the fastest growing suburbs of Tauranga, with many different subdivisions developing concurrently on different blocks of land on the fringes of the suburb. It is popular for fishing, surfing, and as a holiday treat. Now, this next bit of information I found quite interesting. Definitely something I didn't know. If you're from New Zealand or Papamoa, Tauranga area, you didn't know this, check this out. Papamoa Beach is a clothing optional beach by custom. New Zealand has no official nude beaches, thank goodness, as public nudity is legal on any beach where it is known to occur. Sexual activity in public places is illegal, however, and Papamoa Beach has been the site of a continuing series of complaints about lewd behaviour. Some complainants take care to distinguish between these activities and non-sexual naturism, others do not. In 2012, Papamoa Beach was the location for a skinny dipping world record attempt. On 2nd of December 2012, 299 people got naked in the water. Bugger that. Despite a cold day, many people stripped naked attempting to beat Christchurch's summer beach dip. The record failed, as Guinness World Records required all swimmers to be in the water at the same time for a group photo. Papamoa had a population of 25,272 at the 2018 New Zealand census. Right, let's get into this story. This is from rnz.co.nz. Missing man David Holland may have been at Tauranga Beach. This was on the 13th of March 2022. Police are appealing for information about missing Tauranga man David Holland. Holland was last seen in the evening on Friday 11th of March, and police said they were concerned for his welfare. I don't know why I can't talk when I'm doing this. A search for the 31-year-old is continuing today. Friends of Holland believed he had been planning to go for a swim at Papamoa Beach near the end of Pacific View Road. He later did not show up for work, which was out of character. A search of the beach and surrounding areas has been conducted, however nothing has been found that would help understand where David might be, a police statement said. Anyone who was at Papamoa Beach at 7:30 p.m. on Friday who has seen Holland or has information about his movements is asked to call police again on 105. Look, I'm going to put details in the description box of all the articles, all the links, also ways to donate, ways to check out me e-begging. So the links aren't going to be in the description box below for this live stream for these cases, but if you want to find the links or sources that I've used, just go find the video in my video collection. Yeah. So this man, Tauranga, there seems to be a lot of people going missing in Tauranga. I don't know why. Yeah, get in touch with me, all that stuff, all the information will be there. Let's go to nzherald.co.nz. This was on the 19th of March 2022. Search for missing doctor David Holland in Tauranga. No items of relevance found in ground search. So we're going to read this article, and it's going to state that he had some belongings that people were looking for, and none of those have been found. But let's read it a little bit. If we could just play a little bit here. This is the amount of volunteers that turned out. No, it didn't, because it went off, but there was a lot of volunteers. Nothing of assistance was located during the ground search for missing Papamoa man David Holland this morning. Jackets, longs, which I presume they mean trousers, a towel, a tote bag and a pair of shoes are what volunteers were being asked to look for this morning during the search. Members of the public were welcome to assist, but police asked them to join a coordinated grid search of the sand dunes in the Papamoa Beach area rather than just searching independently. Police were overwhelmed by the support of the community volunteers who attended to assist the search. Over 148 volunteer searches. So that's amazing. And one thing I love about New Zealand, and actually I see it all around the world when I see missing persons cases or children's missing persons cases, the communities just come out and help. And I love that about New Zealand. I love that when times get tough or people are needed, Kiwis stand up. The Tauranga Land and Search rescue teams also searched more difficult areas in the dunes, covering spaces that were not visible from the air. So basically, this guy said to his mates that he was going for a swim, right? And he goes towards the beach for a swim. He's got all this clothing, obviously, on him, and he's got shoes on, I gather, and he's got this tote bag, and he's got a jacket. And okay, if he went missing and went for a swim, I get it, but what happened to all his stuff? Where did he leave it? Surely, yeah, this one bugs me. Nothing of interest was located. Holland later failed to come to work, and police said this was unlike him. Tauranga Coast Guard have been relaying all stations message to recreational boats in the area, asking them to be vigilant and contact police if they found anything of interest. Yeah, so many people. Senior Constable Kurt something told the gathered volunteers that land search and rescue teams and police were searching areas where Holland was more likely to be. Volunteers would go into areas a bit further away, but which couldn't be ruled out. He said the search was looking for both Holland and clues, but they found nothing. Again, items of interest included a white, beige and orange jacket, a black jacket, a beige cotton-tight longs with a drawstring. Longs? Why are they calling them longs? Who says that nowadays? My grandma said longs. A black tote bag, possibly a white towel and a pair of shoes, undetermined style, but size US 11. What gets me is, okay, my first thought is he went for a swim and got hurt in the water, or he was in the water and he didn't make it. But where is the stuff? I mean, would he take all that stuff in the water with him for a swim? I didn't think so. And why didn't they find these items? I find that a bit odd myself. I don't know about you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Holland's former girlfriend Rita is helping search alongside some of his friends from Mount Ultimate Frisbee. She said it was absolutely amazing to see the number of people who had turned up to help. She said the search today was an opportunity for them to be able to do something, and that it had been hard waiting to see if the police found anything. She said everyone turning up to help showed his family overseas that the whole community was behind the search with them. It will give them a bit of hope and support, even though they can't help themselves. There are so many people here helping to look for him. And I know, I can't imagine actually, I don't know what it's like to be overseas when your loved one goes missing in another country. I mean, it's bad enough when you're there, but when you're overseas it must be absolutely heartbreaking. We know for Eloy Rowland, oh, that's so bad, the student that went missing at Piha. If you haven't seen that, go and watch the video. That was really hard too, because his family were overseas. He's the most caring, kind and supportive person in the world. He's absolutely the most amazing person. He always sees the good side of people. Yeah, Dev, someone took it and doesn't want to say anything. That's about the only thing that makes sense in my mind. Maybe they needed the shoes, or there was something in the bag that they wanted, and like they took the stuff, didn't know it belonged to a missing man, and then once like all the searching and all that had started, they freaked out and thought, oh, now I'm going to get done for stealing or something. And then yeah, so that's the only thing I can think of. So we're on the same wavelength and understands everyone's perspective. I think that's why so many people are out here right now. A co-worker who used to work in intensive care with Holland at the hospital is at the scene to search on behalf of herself and her mother, who also worked with him. She told the Bay of Plenty Times he is a friendly and warm person with a sense of humour. My cat is trying to get his treats and he's making a bit of noise, so I'm sorry about that. Bloody Ronnie. She said it was great to have people coming to help search because he had helped so many people. Terry Hayes said Holland lives on the same street as him. It was one of my family members. I'd like to think people would help too. He said it was great to see so many people turn up to search and was a great sense of community. A police spokesman said, to date, nothing has been found that would give any clues as to David's whereabouts or movements. We're still asking to hear from anyone who may have seen him. 105 and file number 220312/6869. That'll be in the description box below. Friends say Holland worked as a doctor at Tauranga Hospital and was dedicated to his work. It was understood he had been in Tauranga for about 4 years and was living with flatmates in Papamoa, not far from the beach where he was last known to be. Matt Shand, who became friends with Holland through playing Ultimate Frisbee over the last 2 years, described him as a caring person and a lovely soul. He has gone missing. They're in shock. No one can believe it. It took quite a while for the news to sink in. Shan said people who cared about Holland found themselves walking up and down the beach on Sunday night, hoping to find any sign of him. There was a lot of people. And I bet he contributed a lot in his career here in New Zealand as a doctor. I believe he was an anaesthetist. I think I said that right. This is not good news, but a silver lining. Stuff.co.nz. This was March 22nd. Missing doctors, UK family travel to New Zealand and London med school concerned. So, yay, at least his parents can get here. UK-based family members of missing Papamoa Dr. David Holland have travelled to New Zealand after a fundraiser set up to support costs raised over $20,000. Wow. Meanwhile, David's former medical school in London has expressed their concern about his disappearance. As the search for David enters day 11 without any clues, his family have travelled to New Zealand thanks to a GoFundMe page, which states funds will be used to support ongoing costs. There is a lot of uncertainty, said the page, and one of the ways we hope to help is ensuring that Dave's family do not need to worry about finances like travel and costs whilst they continue to navigate the inconceivable situation. David's former medical school in London said on their social media pages they were concerned about the disappearance. David studied medicine at St George's University at St George Hospital in Tooting, London. He was originally from Swansea in South Wales. He came to New Zealand 4 years ago and is a junior anaesthetist at Tauranga Hospital, where he is completing his anaesthetist training. He shares a house with friends in Papamoa close to the beach, where he is believed to have gone missing on Friday, March 11th. He texted a friend to tell them he was going for a swim and was last seen on CCTV camera footage that evening wearing beige pants, a dark top and carrying a tote bag. None of these items have been found so far. With no clues about his whereabouts despite an intensive search by hundreds of volunteers on Saturday, friends in New Zealand and in the UK admit they are frustrated and desperate for answers. Volunteers turned out to Papamoa Beach to take part in an extensive search of the sand and dunes in the area, but they uncovered no evidence. It is frustrating that no items of clothing or anything were found, said his friend Matt Shand. Matt, 37, met David 2 years ago and played ultimate frisbee with him, said David's friends were blown away and humbled by the amount of volunteers who turned out to help over the weekend.
That's basically that one. Again, I'm just regurgitating information because that's all we have to go on, and the news outlets are saying the same thing over and over again. So we're just like flogging a dead horse, and that sounds insensitive. I don't mean it to. But you get my drift, right? You get my drift. I'm not always PC. So I found this today, stuff.co.nz. Missing doctor David Holland's mum appeal and search for Golden Boy, and I should share it so then you can see it and not have to look at me, which would be so much better for you. So I'll play a little bit of this video.
Day one, skin melting in the sun.
When the ad's finished, that is.
I saw you swimming in the sea. Water passionate, hope you notice me. Day two, my bad, I blocked your view. But hey, how you do? His eyes crystal blue.
It's a non-skippable one.
Stonic, the smaller SUV for a bigger life. From only $24,990.
Okay, I think we're there now.
Look, today we wanted to do a big push in relation to the search for David, who's, it's day 7. He's been missing since Friday night last week. We've got members of the community searching all the dunes from right down in Kawira Parade right down to Amanu.
So says a year after Dr. David Holland disappeared in New Zealand, his UK family are clinging on to hope that their golden boy will be found and ask locals to keep searching as a new lead has emerged. We still have hope and always will. He is alive in our hearts and our minds, his mum Karen told Stuff. The former teacher and school principal in Wales said she had been living a nightmare since her youngest son, an anaesthetic registrar at Tauranga Hospital, disappeared on Friday, March 11th, 2022, after indicating to friends he was going for a swim. This is him and his mom. She said, life changed forever when I took the late night phone call from New Zealand. We still have no news, nothing, just speculation. A nightmare. Living the other side of the world brings different challenges, circumstances, and poignancy. Poignant, fucking hell. David Holland, originally from Swansea in Wales, had been living in New Zealand since 2017. She said where she had visited him twice for lengthy periods. A planned visit in 2020 was halted by COVID. I just said COVID, this is not going to be monetized. I don't think it would have been monetized anyway because I might have dropped a couple of F-bombs somewhere. Tragically, her next visit in March 2022 was to join the police search for her son, along with one of his brothers, Rodri. Karen said family and friends were lighting candles today for David and asked New Zealanders to do the same and to continue hoping in the search for her son. Please join us in lighting a candle. Today and tomorrow will be difficult days for our family and friends. Dealing with ambiguous loss, grieving, looking for answers is part of my life now and the lives of Tom and Rodri, my other two sons. Grief doesn't go away and can be incredibly lonely. No parent chooses this road. And you know what? No parent chooses this road. No one wants to be in that club. And once you're the mum of a missing child or God forbid, a murdered child, you're going to be that for the rest of your life, your natural life. It doesn't go away. I think that's incredibly sad. The family were hugely grateful to all those who had helped in the search and appealed to anyone who could help. She said, I thank New Zealanders for everything they have done. It genuinely means a lot. If anyone has other information that can be shared about the evening he disappeared, then please let the police know. Try and remember back to that night. If you were in the area, look around you. Anyone that you know or have seen that looks like David. The uncertainty of not knowing was hard, she said. As a family, we want to find some peace, some answers, and get David back with us if he's still around somewhere. So for goodness sake, David, if you are somewhere around and you just happen to chance on my video, which is highly unlikely, but there you go, call your mum. His mum holds on to precious memories of a beautiful human being. Clever, multi-talented, sporty, caring, kind, thoughtful, a beautiful human being, the golden boy as his brothers called him. Holland, 31, was last seen on the evening of March 11th after being captured by a CCTV camera near his home. So this is new, the CCTV. TV camera, which will walking alone across the Sandhurst Drive overbridge onto Turman Lane and then north towards State Highway 29A about 7:58 p.m. on the night he went missing. The video does show a man wearing hiking boots, long tan coloured pants, a dark coloured long sleeve hooded top. So this is a bit different to what we were hearing earlier on. I'm sure the tote bag, they explained, was black, and they said he had a jacket. So there's a bit of difference between what they said they were looking for and what is he wearing here. Acting on this new information, the Matapihi Mangatapu area was searched, but without success. David studied medicine at St George's University at St George's Hospital in London. His friends say he is an experienced swimmer who loves the ocean. So that just makes it even a bit weirder that he's an experienced swimmer. Holland's mates, including his Frisbee group, were gathering on Saturday to remember him. The new footage has inspired fresh hope, he said. I hope people will look at it and will remind them of something. Everyone just wants to know what happened. Chandler saw his friend, who he described as a caring soul, 2 weeks before he disappeared. Police, Lancer, Surf Lifesaving New Zealand, Coast Guard, and approximately 148 volunteers participated in an extensive land search for Holland last year. A total of 612 hours was put into the search. Police say they received a number of tips from the community, but his whereabouts remain unknown. So, of course, police would like to hear from anyone who has seen him. Anyone with information is urged to call 105, and the file number is 220312/6869. Dev, perhaps kidnapped because he's a doctor. Someone wanted access to his skills or prescription drugs. Yeah, not in New Zealand, I don't think. We don't hear much of that stuff going on here for sure. But, we haven't found him, so anything's a possibility, right? But I just find it really odd that none of his shit was found. None of his stuff was found. I think that's really odd. Actually, any missing persons case is odd. They're all odd. I think that's why I like them, because it just leaves you wondering with all these possibilities, and your mind goes. Anyway, I wanted to let you guys know. Dev says offshore pirates. Well, that's a possibility too. Anything is, isn't it? Because we can't find them, so anything's a possibility. So I don't know if any of you is watching know, but I am putting a call out. We're going to be heading into winter in a couple of months, and I wanted to start gathering some stuff to give out to the homeless people in Christchurch, where I'm from. So I've been putting calls out for sleeping bags, tarpaulins, thermals, all sorts of different things, and I've had quite a good response. So it's pretty good that the people of Christchurch are coming together to give me some stuff to hand out, which I'm going to do. I'm probably going to take my son with me, and we're going to live stream it so people can see where it's going, although I wouldn't have anyone's face on it or anything like that. Alien abduction, says Dev. Well, like I say, we don't know where he is. So, and people do seem to just vanish off the face of the earth, right? So surely could be aliens, if you believe in that sort of thing. That is. I'm having trouble with this platform. It keeps telling me it's running improperly. So I'm going to hop off. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, because I need to find a streaming service, free one, that's going to work, because my normal one wants to charge me $25 and I don't have it. So I'm going to have to play around with this or play around with something else. If you know of any free streaming sites, put them in the comments below for me, so I can check them out. That would be real helpful. Also, hey, send me cases from all around the world. We do a good live stream in the mornings, so all people from the US and overseas can catch it. And then I sometimes do these late ones for Kiwis. So please put in the comments anything that you want me to look up, and I'm going to leave it there, since this thing has been a bitch and is not working correctly and making me sound like a dick probably. I'll see you next time, guys. Thank you so much. Sorry to end so early.